Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This video will focus on K-pop companies that would miserably fail without one specific artist of theirs. Every company has their moneymakers. Every company has a most famous group. And even if there are companies that can rely on multiple successful artists, not every company is like that. Some of them would definitely struggle if they didn't have that one artist to keep them relevant. So let's see which companies I'm talking about. First and foremost, YG Entertainment, a company that would be absolutely doomed without Blackpink. Recent news has come out about how YG's profits have significantly declined over the past couple of years, and this isn't surprising at all. YG has had many artists, but their most iconic ones are now inactive and have left the company. It is true that 21 have resigned with YG, and this will definitely help the company financially. But the thing is, as much as 21 are absolutely legendary, I wonder how many of their fans are still active and willing to spend money on them like Blinks do with Blackpink. In these past years it has become evident how if it wasn't for Blackpink, the company would have already lost its spot among the big four, and now YG is mostly only relevant because Blackpink are carrying the company's name. Of course now YG has other very talented artists who are all quite famous, but no one could ever come close to Blackpink's impact and relevancy, not even Baby Monster. I genuinely believe Baby Monster is one of the most talented rookies and I love them a lot. They're literally all so skilled and all-rounded idols and I can see them growing more and more successful in the future. But for now it's clear that the company still heavily relies on Blackpink for everything. And they better hope the girls will decide to stay instead of moving to some other company, because that would be the beginning of YG's downfall. Now on to Starship Entertainment. Starship's biggest flaw is that they have a small company mentality, and they never take risks even when they have opportunities to branch out and grow bigger. Luckily they really hit big with IVE, a group that literally has the general public in a chokehold and whose fandom keeps growing bigger day by day. No artist under Starship has ever achieved what IVE has achieved, charting so well, being one of the best sellers groups of their generations, and even winning multiple D-Sangs. But Starship's mentality hasn't changed even now that they have such a relevant group like them. That's why none of the other artists in the company is prospering as much as they should, because the company keeps doing the bare minimum, and not everyone was as lucky as IVE to receive the amount of success they got. IVE is literally the reason Starship was able to pay their debt after COVID-19, and this was stated by one of Starship's seniors, K-Will, one of the first artists to have debuted under the company, someone who has seen how uncertain the situation was at Starship before IVE debuted. If IVE never debuted, Monster X would be the ones keeping the company relevant, but with the members enlisting and some of them leaving the company, the situation would have gotten worse pretty quickly. If IVE never existed, Starship would have absolutely failed and would have probably never recovered as a company. Now let's talk about Cube. I just have to say they should be lucky they have Idol. They are such an incompetent company and it shouldn't surprise me how they always manage to screw their groups over. It's like they're purposefully sabotaging their own artists and it's so damn embarrassing. First of all, Cube is a master at fumbling the bag with their groups when they're gaining momentum. For example, Pentagon. They were on the rise with their hit song Shine, but the company did little to nothing to capitalize on that popularity, even if obviously there were other factors that led to the decline of Pentagon. But still, another example is Lightsome. They literally had Chaewoon, who was one of the most popular trainees on Produce 48, and her popularity grew even more when it was revealed she was rigged out of IZ*ONE when she should have debuted with them. But Cube decided to keep her in the basement for so long instead of debuting her right away, making her lose most of the hype. At this point Cube should just be thankful they have Idol, a group that is stacked with talent and is made by members with very particular and distinct voices and skills. A group full of impactful individuals that was able to succeed where other Cube groups have failed. They have such a strong identity, both music and concept-wise, and once they disband I'm pretty sure the company will fall into oblivion. With that I'm not saying that other Cube artists are inferior to Idol in terms of skills, music and concept, but it's just that Cube hasn't been able to help their artists flourish in the past. But Idol managed to succeed despite this, and it's only thanks to them that Cube is still somewhat relevant. Now I want to talk about IST Entertainment, an agency that just like Cube, is a master at fucking things up for their artists. I honestly wonder how IST hasn't gone bankrupt already considering how much all their groups have flopped, all besides the boyz. The boyz aren't necessarily the biggest boy group in 4th gen, but they're one of the most successful boy groups of the generation domestically. They started from being pretty much unknown to literally becoming super loved despite coming from a small company. And even despite how incompetent IST is, they're still managing to be relevant in such a competitive market where it's hard to make it big unless you have a big four company backing you up. There is just something about the boyz' songs that seems to have people in a chokehold, and it's kind of incredible to think how much they have achieved in these past couple of years. IST is literally in an awful situation because all of their groups lost relevancy since the company wasted away all the potential they had and missed so many opportunities. For example, when groups like Victon and Weekly were gaining traction and growing in popularity, instead of making the most out of the situation, IST fumbled the bag so bad that these groups are now done for. Thankfully the boyz seem to be on the rise, and hopefully IST won't screw them over like they did with every other artist of theirs. I just hope that after Kepler's disbandment, if Uningbahi re-debuts in a new girl group under IST, the company won't ruin her career like they've done with their previous artists. Now let's talk about RBW, whose moneymakers are clearly mamamoo. First of all, I have to specify that Hwasa and Yena are no longer under RBW, but they're still in mamamoo. And we still don't know if Moonbyul and Solar will renew their contracts. However, all of the members said that they wanted to continue group activities in the future, so even if they all leave the company, their group activities are still gonna be under RBW's management, so the company will still benefit from them, and this is something that RBW desperately needs. So far the company has yet to debut a group that seemed to capture the general public and build such a core fandom like mamamoo did. I feel like mamamoo is just one of those groups that are a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. It's pretty hard to replicate the effect they had on people and the legacy they built for themselves, especially considering they built their company from scratch. The truth is you can't really recreate a group like that, because talent and good music are not enough. Sometimes it's a combination of luck, and being at the right place at the right time. Mamamoo had all of that, but this cannot be said for any other artist under the company. Last but not least, Yuehua Entertainment, a company that is definitely being carried by Yena. She seems to be the most valuable artist in the company's roster, and I'm sure Yuehua knows it. That's why they are managing her well as far as content and comeback frequency are concerned. Yena is clearly still relevant because of her IZ*ONE fame, and she was able to retain a solid fandom, bigger than those of the other post-IZ*ONE soloists. She also seems to be pretty loved by the general public that recognizes her as the queen of variety content and usually enjoys her songs. The company could have thrived even more if only they didn't fuck up Everglow's careers. Everglow is one of the biggest missed opportunities in K-pop in my opinion, and they could have definitely helped the company grow even more if Yuehua had not put them on hiatus for so long, completely destroying the hype they had around them. As for Tempest, the company's boy group, they debuted not too long ago and they still need to solidify themselves before the company can fully rely on them as a source of steady income. I'm sure Yuehua will be able to form a successful group in the future by re-debuting some of the boys who are currently in 0-1, but so far it's clear that yena is the one who is keeping the company afloat. Okay guys, in my opinion these were companies that would have already failed if it wasn't for a specific artist. Hopefully their other artists will be able to reach a solid level of success in the future. Anyways, let me know if you think there are other companies in the same situation as the ones I discussed. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.